Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comic Book Burrito. I'm your host, Darian.
I'm your other host, Landon.
And today we got a plethora of stuff for you. We got Marvel, we got DC, and we got games. You name it, we got it. Let's talk. Landon, how have you been this
Uh,
past week? Yeah, it's been a week.
yeah, it's really, you know, all right, I guess. Again, nothing really new with me this week that I really want to mention. Nothing of note. Uh, yeah, no, nothing really. But, I know a big thing for you this weekend. You've been streaming a lot, so it's you know,
Yeah.
how's Alan Wake 2 been doing?
Oh
I think
yeah,
I'll
I've
be
been
more
I've been
interested.
waking it up. I've been waking up and waking up every day. That's what I've been doing. Um,
That's what's in it.
this morning I woke up this morning and I immediately went and did some waking. That's what I did.
Ah, well,
um,
well, we're that bit differently here.
no,
Lord.
it's not. No. Um, it's really fun. According to PlayStation, I've only logged an hour in, but I know that's not true because I've got 3 streams and each one's over an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but it's been really good. Game has exceeded my expectations.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm happy about
It's no
that.
Spider-Man 2, though. We all know that.
Yeah, it's definitely no Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 ain't got nothing on this.
But shut up.
At least Spider-Man 2 was. Oh, at least Alan Wake 2 is polished.
Well, here, let me ask you this. Can you web swing in Alan Wake 2?
No,
Okay. I'll leave it at that.
but you can whip a
But
flashlight out at any point in time.
oh, dang. Holy crap. Okay. I
on
get
my
I
on
get
my streams, if other people watch my stream, they know that I would just like be talking to somebody in one of the towns, like getting some clues for the investigation. And if they say something like even slightly out of the ordinary, I pull my flashlight out. I'm like, "Can you please step out, please?" And like I do citizen arrests. It's very fun.
just arrest like whoever.
I
Yeah,
wish I
like
could. Well, I can't like actually arrest them, but fine.
abusing power.
All
Sir,
right, I'm
sir,
gonna need you to step out of the. I was in a diner at one point, and some guy was hiding information. I was like, "Sir, I'm gonna need you to step out of the booth."
another bit right now.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun time.
Uh,
It's a very trippy game though.
uh, yeah, I was it you or someone on Twitter.
Maybe
I
someone on
saw
Twitter.
someone on Twitter like explain. I don't know, just explain like how much they like. No, yeah, it definitely wasn't you. Hey, for some reason, I don't know. I saw it and I think I was laughing in my house. I can imagine just Darian saying this too. Talking about like how fun the game was and all that, and saying it's just been it's how it's just it's like very traditional stuff of like how a sequel should be made and all that. And it was but I heard that everyone who's playing has loved it. So
Yeah, it's
I
definitely
I might check it out.
this year has still just you need to play the first one first.
Well, I
And it's
need to play
already
that, then
you need to play Control.
Control.
Yeah, Control is a game that like I know you don't like it, and like it's not my favorite. I played through it just for the story.
I really tried to, but I just got stuck somewhere, and
Yeah,
I just couldn't get invested as I wanted to. And I was just like, I thought
yeah.
like the combat and gameplay was like fun, but like
Well,
trying to do like I don't know, kind of like the tech, and not that it's just like if it ain't fast paced action, I'm not into it. It's not even like that. I just couldn't
well,
care enough, you know.
play Alan Wake 1 and then go into Control thinking, okay, this is in the same universe. Let's see what kind of world building we got here. And that's what I did. That's how I enjoyed Control.
I'll try to go back into it.
And then Alan Wake 2, this is crazy. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about stuff that we've watched and news that has come out. And we watched one show and a trailer, and we're going to talk about those today. I also have a lot of drama to talk about today, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I guess we go ahead and get into our Loki season 2 episode 5 review because that happened this week.
Yep.
So spoilers for Loki season 2 episode 5 titled Science/Fiction. Um, Thoughts going into this episode after that crazy cliffhanger in episode 4.
Um. Now, okay, trying to figure out how to word this.
Oh jeez.
I mean, I was a bit
You
skeptical.
you
I'd
watched
say
this before me, by the way.
I did want, yeah. And when does that ever happen?
I don't think it's ever happened.
Ever, yeah, because I'll usually watch it last minute before we record on here, or it'll be like just like a day before. I don't know. I usually do it last minute just so I can have it fresh in my mind. But I just loved how the last episode ended. That I had to see, what the heck's gonna happen here. So
You're saying you were skeptical.
very skeptical. Yes, because I mean, how do you top something that we considered like perfect in the last one? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just like had to watch it, and I mean, I don't know. I definitely was. I know when I first started watching it, I made that whole quote. I hate we gave the last episode 10 out of 10 because I don't want to keep giving 10 out of 10s. So I guess we're going to have to go in the 12s on this one. And I think that was just a little bit of hype because I don't think it's that good now.
No, I've seen it
But
4 times already. So,
I still have seen it once. How many? You saw it 4 times?
I saw it once by myself, once with 3 other people.
Mhm.
So
Now, well, it's still like really good. I don't think it's. I
I think
think
it's
for I think for a filler episode, it's great.
yeah. Um, I think I liked episode 4 more, but I like what happens in this episode more. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
No,
Um,
I get that.
but yeah, we can go ahead and get into it. I mean, I'm not gonna break it down plot wise. We have a lot to talk about today, so I'm gonna kind of keep it a little short. I mean, everyone on the TVA is gone. Sent back to their timelines. Um, and the TVA you get to see in this episode, TVA vanish. It turned into noodles. Everything gets noodled.
Yeah,
I don't know the term for it, so I'm just gonna call it noodled until they say otherwise. Um, but everything just it's gone. TVA is gone. Nothing keeping hold of the timeline. Um, so now we got Loki time slipping again, and he's going to all these different places where all his friends are. We see Casey, whose name is actually Frank, and he's an inmate at Alcatraz. Um,
in the 60s, is that right?
I don't remember the time, but he's actually playing an actual like inmate from Alcatraz.
Yes, the one that like went missing or something
Yeah,
like that.
Casey is Frank Morris. In 1962, 3 men escaped Alcatraz and were never seen again. We don't know what happened to them, although the popular theory is that they drowned in the bay. One was named Frank.
Yeah, I always love stuff like that. It's kind of like with the Watchmen universe.
Yeah.
They take historical stuff and they put like a little like spin on it.
Well, that's what they did in the first season of Loki too. I mean, they revealed that Loki was DB Cooper.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I completely forgot about that. That was like how like cool is that? I don't know. That's something about that is just really interesting to me, and I always thought that was a fun thing to do.
Yeah. Um, yeah, we see Casey and Loki shows up, and you also have the reference to season 1. Casey says that like, we need to hurry up, but the guards will gut us like fish.
Yeah,
And
does he say that? Well, I figured he did because that would be a
yeah,
callback.
yeah. Because obviously, for those who don't know, in season 1, Loki said, "I've got you like a fish, Casey." He's like, "What's a fish?" Um, so that was a little throwback there. But Casey or Frank or whatever doesn't remember Loki. Loki time slips again. I think this time he time slips to um McDonald's, and
No.
then he
Oh,
time slip.
oh no, he does. He time slips to like all the universes he has to go to.
Yeah, he goes to McDonald's, and then he goes to a outside of a jet ski store, and then to a doctor's office, which is where well, no, he goes to the TVA, and he finds out that like, oh, I'm at the TVA, even though this place is destroyed. Why am I here? Um, we go to a doctor's office at one point in 2012 in New York, so the year of the first Avengers movie, where B-15 is there. She's a nurse. Um, and then we get to we get to see Mobius riding a jet ski finally.
Yes, finally.
Character arc. Um, but we see that his name's Don. And he works there. Loki shows up and he's like, goes up to him. He's like, "You're here." He said the TVA is gone. He was like, "I think you mean ATV," and we got into last week. And he doesn't remember him either. Loki
Oh yeah.
time slips again. I think this time we also go to a universe where we see OB, except his name is, I think it was like Doug, from what I read on that book that he had.
Yeah.
And he's an author, but he's like not able to sell many books. And he's also a scientist. Loki shows up in his warehouse, and OB believes everything that Loki tells him about the TVA and time slipping, all this stuff. Um, and they're trying to figure out how he can control his time slipping. He eventually ends up time slipping again, and he goes to, oh my gosh, bring where he went. Anyway, he goes to the Mobius's house. He ends up there. And he talks with Mobius. He convinces him basically to come with him. We need to save your family, save the TVA, do all this.
Yeah.
And then he convinces OB. Before this, OB was going to make a TemPad, but it would take a long time. But Loki had the guidebook, TVA guidebook,
Yeah.
and so he was going to use that to build it. The portal opens up when he gets Mobius, and OB walks out, and he was like, "You built one that fast?" He was like, "I don't think 18 months is fast. Well, 19 if you count that. I had to. He had to take a break when I got kicked out. My wife left me or something like that."
Yeah, yeah. It's like why divorce them or something like that.
Um, but yeah, they're together. They go get Casey, Frank, and then they go get B-15, and then they're all at the warehouse. And Loki's like, "I need one more person." He goes to get Sylvie. And now Sylvie, we see when she first shows up, she puts like a bag and drink on the back of her, on like the toolbox of her truck, and it like it noodles as the camera's panning to the left. So that was interesting. Always love when shows or like movies and stuff do those kind of details that like you wouldn't really see it if you don't like look.
Oh yeah.
Because like you could see it also in the mirror, like the noodles, whatever they are, and then the dust, like them
Hmm.
turning into dust.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah.
was just teasing that timeline is about to die, or the branch. Loki shows up, shows Sylvie that he's time slipping. They go have drinks. You have a really nice scene where Loki's like, "I want to save my friends. I don't want to be alone. I want to help save the TVA." Um, and Sylvie's like, "Well, what we did is a good thing. You just have to learn to live with it." And she goes to a record store. Loki goes back to the warehouse with everybody and tells them that it's over. They just need to go home. Um, and then back to Sylvie. She's in the record store. She gets this record from the guy working the store, and she's listening to it in the back. I love this scene. It's the best scene of the whole episode. I think it's so well made. Um, it's where he's sitting there listening to music, and you see in the background a guy is walking into the store, and then the guy, as he's walking in, just kind of fades away.
Yeah, he vanishes as soon as he walks in.
Yeah. And then we get to cut to the guy at the counter, and he's pouring coffee into a mug. And then it pans over to where the guy was, and the bell ring on the door, and it pans back to him, and the mug is gone. The coffee's just pouring off the counter, and it starts to noodle or whatever. I need a better word. I don't know. They never said a word.
Well, yeah, well, they don't give a term for it. I guess just vanish. I don't know. I mean,
It's well, I don't know. It's like turning into
I, mean,
threads.
I
Like I don't know.
that start happening to me, and then someone yelling out, "Oh my god, he's noodling!" Like,
Well, I have no other.
like,
I'm saying it until I hear otherwise. Um, But we see that, and then the guy turns around, and everything you could see through the reflection of the glass, everything outside is happening to that too. Timeline is unraveling. Unraveling. Hey, there we go. I just made it. It's
hey,
better. That's probably what it's going to be called too.
it's better, yes.
Um, Everything's unraveling. I like that too. Unraveling like the threads, like the loom is like it threads the timeline, and it's like unravel. It's kind of okay.
What
Um,
was that calling Kang? he who remains.
He who remains. Yeah.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
but everything's going. You see the glass like start to unravel too, which is really cool. Everything's it's happening to everything. He screams Sylvie. She turns around and he's running, and everything's unraveling. And he gets to her, and she tries to grab his hand, and he unravels. And it's happening to everything. The record too is a really cool shot where the record was spinning, and the camera was kind of like panning down on it, and it was starting to unravel too. Her whole branch, the McDonald's branch, all that gone. She opens a time door, walks through, ends up where Loki and them are, tells them, "We're out of time. We need to do something." So Loki's excited. He's like, "Okay, we got everybody here. We can do this." And Obi is like, "Well, we need to read everyone's temporal aura with the tempad." And he turns around, tempad's gone. They question Casey because they thought that he stole it because he had made insinuations that he would want to use it to rob some banks.
yeah.
Um, and he's like, "I didn't take it." And when he says that, he noodles, he unravels.
Yes.
Um, and so you have a moment you're like, "What? Well, what now?" And then it happens to Obi, and then it happens to Mobius, and then it happens to B-15, and then Sylvie left, and it happens to her, and everything else it starts unraveling too. And Loki's trying to grab all the like little threads, noodles or whatever, trying to grab them and just like stop it, but he can't. This very much reminded me of Infinity War,
Oh
like
yeah.
everyone like dusting away.
Especially the part with Mobius, or he's called Dawn in this.
Yeah,
Really cares about his children. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as he sees everyone unraveling, trying to figure out what's going on, he's like, "Oh no, I gotta see my kids." Just gave me like flashbacks to Hawkeye in the
yeah,
beginning of a game.
yeah,
And I was like, "Oh my god, that's crazy."
yeah. And so they're all gone. Loki's trying. He just like snaps and he screams, and all of a sudden he's back. Sylvie's still there. Everything's still unraveling, and that plays out again. And he realizes I can control this. So he controls it, and he ends up back before everything unraveled. And he tells OB, he's like, "I can control the time slipping. I can rewrite the story," is what he says.
Yeah,
Um, and he sits there and he does it, and he comes back right where the loom was, right when Victor Timely was going through the door, getting ready to, I guess. And he pops up right there, and the episode ends.
I mean, what a cliffhanger again.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think I don't know, I really like this episode. Like, I mean, granted it's filler, but man, I did
Mm,
like the episode.
yeah.
I'm excited for the finale. I have a theory because I mean, finale's next week. I have a theory about what's going to happen.
What?
Uh,
Yeah.
I think that Loki is going to become the next He Who Remains.
Ooh.
I think it because he can control the time. He can move through time any way he wants, just like Kang could do. If you remember, like at the in He Who Remains, at the end of the first season, he would just kind of like pop up in different places. Remember?
Yeah.
He could teleport, and there was a line Obi said where he's telling Loki, "So you're not just traveling in time, but you're traveling through space, so you can travel to different spots too."
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I feel like it's setting that up, and plus, like, I really feel like it's setting something like that up, where Loki's going to be the one to like make sure all of time is safe, while also letting everyone have free will or something like that.
Yeah. Now, I mean,
That's my theory.
how do you? Well, I'm not like disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to think of like how. What does that mean for the future after that? I mean, does they just gotta fight Loki? I mean, because
No,
he's still good,
I
or
think he'll still be good, yeah, but he'll take on a different type of god role, I guess. I mean, there was in the comics, he turned into the god of stories at one point,
he
but I don't
did?
know. But yeah, so I mean, maybe something like that. I don't know. That's just my thought. I was just thinking about it. It seems like a really logical conclusion, but I don't know.
I'm
I could be
I'm
wrong. I could throw us for a loop.
I'm interested though. So I mean, I'm here to see it.
Finale next week. Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess we go ahead and give a rating. Uh,
Uh, I mean, I don't think there's really nowhere to go.
I think I'm gonna
Besides,
give it a 9.5.
that's what I'm gonna go with. I, I was, I think I was hyped a lot of it because it was really cool seeing the characters in different worlds and all that, and or different or their like main versions of them.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little disappointed. I'd say because there's only two they really explore, and that's Dawn, Mobius, and was Doug, which is oh god, the name's slipping.
Opie.
Yeah, OB, and you know, which makes sense, and you don't need to explore Sylvie's that much.
Yeah, we've already kind of explored that before,
Yeah,
and
explore that in the yeah, exactly, previous episode. I kind of wish we got more of the lives of Casey and
B15.
B5, B15.
B15.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can agree with that because this episode is the shortest out of all of them. It's 47 minutes long.
yeah,
I think there could have been some time to explore them too.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I like to see the life of B15. Outside of her being like a doctor,
Yeah.
and
And that plus she was doing that in that scene during 2012 in New York City. So like we could have heard something about the first Avengers movie.
I don't know, like a reference to it, or
Yeah.
in fact, made one of her patients one of the maybe like a civilian or something, or I don't
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah. But
but
and
'cause I,
9.5.
I do wish we did explode. Yeah, but excuse me. I do agree with you that 9.5 sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah, finale's next week. I gotta be honest. I mean, we're already here at the finale, but I gotta say it's probably my favorite season of a Disney Plus Marvel show so far. I just think it's really well made,
Oh yeah, I agree
and
completely.
the writing is great. At least for most of the episodes.
Oh, yeah, there's never been like a line or
These
ever a
guys need
moment.
to. These guys are writing Daredevil, born again,
Yes, that's gonna be
but I
great.
also think they need to write King Dynasty and Secret Wars because they actually understand like the time travel type stuff. It makes
Is that I'm assuming Daredevil comes out before both those
yeah,
movies?
yeah.
Yeah,
Daredevil's I think got pushed to 2025, but yeah,
that
those
needs to
movies
be
won't be out for a while.
that needs to be the final test, and obviously, I mean, they're already on a hot streak, so let Daredevil be the final test, and then get them on both those projects immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, 9.5s all around for Loki season 2, episode 5. All right, let's move on to the trailer for Echo. It came out as we said it would last week. Um, and to the surprise of all of us, it looked great.
Marvel's back. MCU's back.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Marvel's is going to come out in a week, and we're like, that's over.
It's dead.
Yep,
It's Joe over.
it's
That's all.
over. um, but yes, so let's talk about this Echo trailer, and I'm going to pull it up on YouTube here so I can kind of skim through it.
I mean,
Unexpectedly excited for this show.
yeah. Talk about something I did not care about. I don't. I mean, every time we talked about it on the show, like, yeah, Echo's supposed to release all this episodes. I was like, all right, cool. You can hear my tone in the voice
Yeah,
of how much I did not care at all. At just not a single bit about this show. Um, I was even want to watch. I was gonna almost convince you to like, can we just skip over this? Because I don't think it's that big of a deal. If they're gonna release all the episodes in one thing, let's just not worry about it.
why would we do that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I thought maybe I could use some. I don't know.
Will
Convince.
not have been able to.
Well, whatever. But
We need
talk
content.
about with talk about with one trailer to from something I could care less about to one of my most anticipated things
Someone
from.
obviously forgot that the writers of Better Call Saul and Daredevil were on that
I
show.
did, I did. Well, I just like. Well, it's just like it's a character I don't care about. I'm just like I don't care about. I ain't really care for her in Hawkeye. I was like, I'll pass,
Yeah,
And but seeing that trailer made me like want to go rewatch Hawkeye so I can see her introduction again, and then rewatch
yeah.
the show. Because
It's
see what I
trailers.
was
I mean, it's really good.
that Kingpin scene.
Oh yeah, this is
Oh,
Marvel's very first TVMA show.
yeah,
Um, So it's
Very,
a R-rated show basically.
yeah,
And it's not going to be like the other shows, but I have a piece of news later that's going to talk about that, so I'm not really going to touch on it here.
yeah,
Um, but let's go through the trailer real quick. We have 10 minutes left in this meeting. I hate this website so bad. All right, sorry. Um, we got Maya, little girl walking out of school. I think it's school, wearing uniforms.
yeah,
And she walks up to an ice cream man who's on the sidewalk, and she asks him with signing, "I want." She said, "I want." What she said, and the guy, um, I guess, kind of mocks her and says, "I don't know what you're saying," and then tells her to get out. Kingpin is in the car watching.
gets pissed.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just like the way they do it, and they did it in Hawkeye too, and it wasn't this way in the Daredevil show. They make him look bigger. He looks huge.
He looks huge. Yeah, I
But I
noticed. I
kind
was like,
of like it this way. He looks more intimidating and sort of just like a normal dude.
yeah,
Kind of like
yeah.
they do in the Insomnia game or in Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
In the Spider-Verse though is like comically big.
Into the Spider-Verse is like, dude, this guy should be dead. that's how
Yeah.
that's how huge he is.
No neck.
No neck. I
Um
mean,
but yeah, Kingpin sees this happen and we immediately get him getting out of the van or whatever, and charging after this guy as he's walking away, throwing him into the alley, and just starts to just like wail on this dude. Blood all over his hands, all over his white suit. And it's really cool too when he hits him, you hear the echo of like the like groans of the guy like in pain.
yeah.
The trailer's put together really well. Yeah, it's very already very like more bloody than any other Disney Plus show, maybe besides Moon Knight. But Moon Knight wasn't even that bloody.
Moon Knight. I feel like Moon Knight
It was
needs to
just like one or two
season two.
scenes that were
Season
yeah,
two needs to be TVMA. Like, look,
I
because
think so.
I don't know how successful viewership wise would be on this show. Oh, but like, cause considering, I mean, it's not really a big name either. But
Yeah.
I just hope it does good enough, or they'll take another risk with another TVMA. And that's I know.
I hope the strike is over by now, then so they could market the show.
Oh, yeah, market, yeah, because like what, January?
I'll look at the date once we get to the end of this. But I'll see real quick. And we get a lot of shots of her fighting different people. Um, let's see, oh, kind of car wreck going on. You see a shot of her prosthetic leg. Wilson Fisk saying, "You have so much pain in you." I think it's the guy's the I don't know who this guy is, but he's the villain. So it's bald guy. Um, I did read that they said the difference between this show and a lot of the other shows is that the show is about a villain, and they wanted to lean into that. I think is what it said.
Yeah.
Um, this is what I read from earlier, like from earlier today. I think it was. The press were shown several scenes from Echo last week, and this is a quote from the Hollywood Reporter. They said, tonally, the footage screened for press had hints of Daredevil, Breaking Bad, and John Wick, and in some ways like Marvel's version of a cable drama rather than an MCU streaming series.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Um,
Like, do you think some people feel like it will be? Oh, excuse me. Feel like it will be like so like this does not feel like MCU at all. It doesn't really.
I think this
Yeah.
is a lot of people um wanted to call Secret Invasion Marvel's Andor, which is looking back on it now, it's funny. But I think this was going to be Marvel's Andor.
I gotcha.
But we got some shots. It's kind of a teaser trailer more than an actual trailer, but I mean, it's really showing that like Kingpin's influenced her life and stuff. She's trying to get away from him.
Yeah.
And he's in it. Looks like for a decent amount.
Yeah. If
Which
not,
I'm happy about.
will be referenced like almost like every episode.
Yeah. Literally a moment where a dude pulls a gun out and shoots this dude in the neck, and it
Yeah.
was like it's brutal.
I know we did a bit of Daredevil in this.
Yeah, we get one shot of Daredevil doing a flip through with something, so that's exciting.
Can't even tell like what he's wearing.
He's wearing the red Netflix suit.
Oh, he's wearing the red nose suit? Okay. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't the but
Yeah. It's I don't know. I guess because he just needed that one suit for when he was in the West Coast, I guess.
Yep.
We get a shot of some kind of black and white something going on here. There might be a flashback. There's Daredevil. A lot of action going on. Action looks really good. We get Wilson Fisk saying, "You and I are the same." She snaps the dude's neck, and he says, "So, who's the monster?" And we get a shot of him with the eye patch on. So that's that. Everyone assumed that was what's going to be happening. So that's post Hawkeye when he got shot. So she shot him in the eye. And we have Maya aiming a gun at him, and that's the end of the trailer. And it's all episodes. So every single episode, which is only 5. There's only 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Streaming January 10th.
January 10th. Okay.
Which is, let me see, because I'm pretty sure that is the same day. That is the same day the Arkham Files season 3 airs. A little bit of a news drop right there. Anyway.
Surprise.
Yep. This is coming out on a Wednesday.
Well, right on a further, but
it's coming out on a Wednesday, by the way, the show. Wednesdays are the new Fridays again.
Yeah,
well, so Wednesdays are the new Thursdays at 9.
This is so weird. They gotta figure it out.
Yeah, it's they also do it because like something else could be coming out that Friday too. They don't want like dual releases, like a Star Wars thing. Because you remember when Miss Marvel and Kenobi came out the same days, and Miss Marvel barely had any views.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a big issue there. That's why.
Yep. That's everybody was watching Ben. That's
right.
Flame away in Tatooine.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's the Echo trailer. We have 1 minute left in this meeting, so go ahead and give it a rating, and then yeah. I mean, it showed me pretty much all. It showed me some cool. Yeah, I mean, it showed me some cool action. Like I said, Kingpin, and I saw a little bit of Daredevil. I have no complaints.
Yeah, I have no complaint. I mean, a show like again, with a trailer of you've done your job right when you make a show I just cared nothing about to something I want to binge watch all episodes in one day.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. Yeah. I'm gonna say 5.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna say 5 too. That'll work. Yeah, that's our review of the Echo trailer. Now we got news to talk about. But first we got a big article to read. But we gotta take a quick break in the meeting. You're not gonna get a commercial yet. You'll get one later. We'll be right back. All right. Drama.
When is there not?
Yeah, well, Variety put out an article just the other day. Let me see exactly when. Is there a date? I'm not seeing a date on the website. But oh well, it was just the other day. And this article was titled "Is Marvel in Trouble?" And it has made the rounds on the internet. And it is something else. So we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to read the whole thing because it's packed full of information we should talk about. Oh man. All right. Here we go. So the official title besides Is Marvel in Trouble is Crisis at Marvel. Jonathan Majors' backup plans, the Marvel's reshoots, and more issues revealed. Okay.
I feel like I hear this on Twitter every day.
Yeah. It's what are you thinking this could be? I know you know some of this because we've talked about it already, but some of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are your thoughts before I read this?
I think it's just gonna involve the pattern of like of what's Marvel been doing, the issues that or the common complaints that every MCU movie has, and also I'm also assuming
Besides
the
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Sorry.
also the hardships of like them making a movie and all that. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah. Okay. It's probably close. Here we go. I've read this whole thing once, but I don't remember some of it. Here we go. I'm gonna read it. This past September, a group of Marvel creatives, including studio chief Kevin Feige, assembled in Palm Springs for the studio's annual retreat. Most years, the vibe would have been confident, even cocky, given how the premier superhero brand owned by Disney since 2009 has remade the entertainment business in its image. But this occasion was angst-ridden. Everyone at Marvel was reeling from a series of disappointments on screen, a legal scandal involving one of its biggest stars, and questions about the viability of the studio's ambitious strategy to extend the brand beyond movies into streaming. The most pressing issue to be discussed at the retreat was what to do about Jonathan Majors, the actor who had been poised to carry the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but instead is heading to a high-profile trial in New York later this month on domestic violence charges. The actor insists he is the victim, but the damages to his reputation and the chance he could lose the case has forced Marvel to reconsider its plans to center the next phase of its interlocking slate of sequels, spin-offs, and series around Major's villainous character, King the Conqueror. At the gathering in Palm Springs, executives discussed backup plans, including pivoting to another comic book adversary like Doctor Doom. But making any shift would carry its own headaches. Majors was already a big presence in the MCU, including as the scene-stealing antagonist in February's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and he's been positioned as the franchise's next big thing in this season of Loki, particularly in the finale, which airs on November 9th and sets up Kang as the titular star of the fifth Avengers film in 2026. So that's
Mm,
the first little bit.
yes.
Um, so they were thinking about changing up villains, but it's also going to be
Yeah.
hard to do.
This was the big thing everybody was kind of talking about with this.
Yeah, and I get why, because I mean, if he's on trial, he can't film anything, and that just means that you have to keep pushing all of your stuff back.
Yeah.
And so, as much as it would suck to not have Kang, because I think it's a really interesting character, but I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Let's see what else they got here. Marvel is truly blanked with the whole Kang angle, says one top deal maker who has seen the final Loki episode. Quote, and they haven't had an opportunity to rewrite until very recently because of the WGA strike, but I don't see a path to how they move forward with him. Um,
It's
that was the quote from whoever the deal maker is.
yeah.
Um, yeah. It says beyond the bad press from Majors, the brain trust at Marvel is also grappling with the November release of The Marvels, a sequel to 2019's blockbuster Captain Marvel that has been plagued with lengthy reshoots and now appears likely to underwhelm at the box office. This is all an unprecedented turn of fortune for a company that has enjoyed a nearly uninterrupted string of hits ever since it started independently producing its movies with 2008's Iron Man. That wildly profitable run culminated in the $2.8 billion success of 2019's Marvel Avengers Endgame. Almost said Marvel's Avengers. A high
Oh,
water mark for the studio that has earned nearly 30 billion over 32 films. See, replicating that kind of phenomenon is never easy. However, the source of Marvel's current peoples can be traced back to 2020. That's when the COVID pandemic ushered in a mandate to help boost Disney's stock price with an endless torrent of interconnected Marvel content for the studio's fledgling streaming platform, Disney Plus. According to the plan, there would never be a lapse in superhero fare with either a film in theaters or a new television series streaming at any given moment. But the ensuing tsunami of spandex, that's funny, proved to be too much of a good thing, and the demands of churning out so much programming taxed the Marvel apparatus. Moreover, the need to tease out an interwoven storyline over so many disparate shows, movies, and platforms created a muddled narrative that baffled viewers. It's pretty much on par so far. Um, anyway, sorry, I read something.
okay.
Um, the quote is the quote. The Marvel machine was pumping out a lot of content. Did it get to the point where this was just too much and they were burning people out on superheroes? Possible, says Wall Street analyst Eric Candler, who covers Disney. The more you do, the tougher it is to maintain quality. They tried experimenting with making in some new characters like Shang-Chi and Eternals with mixed results. With budgets as big as these, you need home runs.
Oh yeah.
Um, the Marvels, which opens in theaters on November 10th, will struggle to get to the ball past the infield, at least by Marvel's outsized standards. The movie, which cost $250 million and sees Brie Larson reprising her role as Captain Marvel, is tracking to open $75 million to $80 million, far below the $185 million Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness took in domestically in its debut weekend last year. Directed by Nia DaCosta, the Marvels unite. So we already know that. That's the story stuff. Um, instead of seamlessly building on the success of Captain Marvel, this move resulted in 4 weeks of reshoots to bring coherence to a tangled storyline. Then eyebrows were raised again when DaCosta began working on another film while the Marvels was still in post-production. The filmmaker moved to London earlier this year to begin prepping for her Tessa Thompson drama Hedda. A representative for DaCosta declined to comment. Source familiar with the production said, if you're directing a $250 million movie, it's kind of weird for the director to leave with a few months to go.
That is kind of odd.
Is that the Marvels has seen its release date moved back twice too, once to swap places with Quantumania, which was deemed further along, and again when its debut shifted from July to November to give the filmmakers more time to tinker. But that extra time didn't necessarily help. In June, Marvel, which traditionally only solicits feedback from Disney employees and their friends and families, took the uncharacteristic step of holding a public test screening in Texas. The audience gave the film middling reviews. But Marvel has never been in the business of being average. Quote, Kevin's real superpower, his genius, has always been in post-production and getting his hands on movies and making sure that they are finished strongly. Source adds, these days he's spread thin. Feige declined to comment for this story. Feige isn't the only person showing signs of strain. Marvel's entire VFX battalion, including staffers and vendors, is struggling to keep pace with a never-ending stream of productions. This past February, when the credits rolled at the world premiere of Quantumania, shock rippled through the Regency Village Theater in Westwood over some shoddy CGI. Quote, there were at least 10 scenes where the visual effects had been added at the last minute and were out of focus, says one veteran power broker who was there. It was insane. I've never seen something like that in my entire career. Everyone was talking about it. Even the kids of executives were talking about it.
Ooh.
The schedule swap with the Marvels had left the Ant-Man sequel in a squeeze, pushing up its post-production schedule by 4.5 months. That's crazy. Marvel's films are known for coming down to the wire, given Feige's ability to, quote, foam the runway and land a plane that way, says one executive familiar with how the company operates. This level of unfinished was unprecedented and would be noted in scathing reviews when the tentpole with the $200 million budget opened 11 days after the premiere. Critics weren't the only ones dismayed. Fed up with 14-hour days and no overtime, Marvel VFX workers voted unanimously to unionize in September, sparking an industry-wide trend. Okay, that's it says 2023 was the year that broke the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm not gonna read that because it's kind of just what it read. And then it goes into talking about Bob Iger comes back and he was apologetic about Marvel's VFX troubles. I talked about Victoria Alonso was fired. Talking about the reason why. Let's see. It says this, the VFX logjam had been evident for some time, with some final effects for such Disney Plus series as WandaVision and She-Hulk Attorney at Law inserted after their streaming debuts. So after the public has already seen it.
Yeah. Which that everybody was talking about that with WandaVision, that end credit scene or something like that, right?
Uh, I don't remember. I haven't seen anyone talk about it, but I know a lot of people talking about She-Hulk. Which I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember them doing a fix for She-Hulk like a little bit after it
Yeah.
came out.
Yeah, VFX shots.
Yeah.
Is that yeah, remember it was WandaVision that had that like end credit scene where like in like the woods or whatever. And then everybody noticed like a month later they like added in like more trees and all that and
Oh yeah.
I was talking about like that shadow figure and everybody thought it was like White Vision.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Right, but some internal sources suggest Alonso was a scapegoat and point to the She-Hulk VFX issues as a symptom of deeper rot, namely a lack of oversight on script development. In the original arc of She-Hulk, get this, a flashback of star Tatiana Maslany's transformation into her Hulk character didn't take place until episode 8, the penultimate episode. So we wouldn't have seen her how she even became She-Hulk until episode 8, off of the original script.
Like the final episode, pretty much.
The one right before it.
Yeah.
But after Marvel's Brain Trust watched the footage, which I guess Marvel's Brain Trust would be like Kevin Feige and all the higher ups.
Yeah.
It realized the scene needed to happen in the pilot episodes so that the audience could see more of the character's backstory early. That meant that the VFX team was tasked with fixing the mess in post production. These quote, the so-called bad VFX we see was because of half-baked scripts, says one person involved with She-Hulk. That is not Victoria, that's Kevin, and even above Kevin. Those issues should be addressed in pre-production. Timeline is not allowing the Marvel executives to be able to sit with the material. All the while, Marvel was bleeding money, with a single episode of She-Hulk costing $25 million, dwarfing the budget of a final season episode of HBO's Game of Thrones, but without a similar zeitgeist bang. The August 2022 series premiere at the El Capitan Theater foreshadowed what was to come 6 months later at the Quantumania bow, but She-Hulk special effects were out of focus in multiple scenes.
Yeah.
They said there are signs that the flood of product is leading to people to tune out. It says, quote, I'm not prepared to call it a permanent fall, but based on the numbers that go with Marvel podcasts, Marvel-based articles, friends who do Marvel-based video coverage, all of these numbers are significantly down, says Joanna Robinson, co-author of the book MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios. This is a book that everyone's been talking about. We got a lot of information from it. Quote, the quality is suffering. 2019 at the peak, if you put Marvel Studios in front of something, people are like, oh, that brand means quality. That association is no longer the case because there have been so many projects that felt half-baked and undercooked. I mean, so far they're preaching, because this is like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's crazy.
Oh,
Here we
yeah.
go. Get some Blade
Really?
stuff. I'm gonna talk about some Blade right here. Do you have any comments though, as before we continue?
Oh no, no, everything everything you've been saying along with is pretty much everything I've agreed with completely.
Right. As public criticism mounts, Feige is pulling the plug on scripts and projects that aren't working. Case in point, by the way, Wonder Man. That would be one.
Unfortunately,
Yeah. Another case in point, the Blade reboot. With Mahershala Ali signed on for the eponymous role of a vampire, things look promising for a 2023 release date. But the project has gone through at least 5 writers, 2 directors, and 1 shutdown 6 weeks before production. One person familiar with the script permutations say the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by women and filled with life lessons. Blade was relegated to, get this, not the first, not the second, not the third, but the 4th lead of the movie.
yeah, that's is it even a Blade movie at that point?
Yeah, it says it's a bizarre idea considering that the studio had 2-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali on board.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that makes no sense.
But there is a silver lining at this next paragraph. This is news as well. Amid reports that Ali was ready to exit over script issues, Feige went back to the drawing board and hired Michael Green, the Oscar-nominated writer of Logan, to write the new script.
Yeah.
Speculation around town is that the studio is looking to make the film, now slated to come out in 2025, on a budget of less than $100 million, which is a big deviation from what Marvel usually does.
Yeah. So more
But it doesn't need to be big budget. It's
no,
I mean,
yeah.
like,
More practical stuff for a Blade movie is perfect.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was really cheap for the original ones.
Yeah.
The Guillermo del Toro ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Logan writer is doing Blade now. I think that's good. That was that was a well written movie.
Oh yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, that was. Let's see. Here we go. Here's another big piece of news. With Iger publicly acknowledging the downside of a Marvel TV glut that, quote, diluted focus and attention, the keepers of the comic book empire are considering some dramatic moves. Sources say there have been talks to bring back the original gang for an Avengers movie. This would include reviving Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, both of whom were killed off in Endgame. That shouldn't be a stumbling block. In comics, beloved characters are often killed off, only to be resurrected thanks to the power of things like the multiverse. But the studio hasn't yet committed to the idea. If they were able to bring those actors back, it wouldn't come cheap. Sources say Downey Jr.'s upfront salary for Iron Man 3 was around $25 million.
Yeah, well, imagine what it would be now.
Yeah. Well,
And,
I've been hearing that he's already agreed to come back, and Chris Evans has agreed to come back.
and I also
So
heard Hanson's agreed to come back.
yeah, I think that's all. Also
Well,
because you notice that like as soon as they left Marvel, they're starting to realize they're not really making that much money.
yeah. Oh wait, hold up.
You need more
Get
money.
back. Let me get back here.
Yeah. I mean, I
Let me
think the
get back.
best role Robert Downey Jr. has had since Iron Man was in Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, that movie. Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah, I went and saw it in theaters.
Oh yeah, you did. I loved it. It was it was good.
Yeah, it was really
You
good.
need, Chris
Um,
Evans. Think of what he's done recently.
he was
In Lightyear, which that was a bomb.
he also did that one movie with the Russos on Netflix, I think. But I can't remember. Maybe that might have been before Endgame though. I don't remember.
I know he did this one movie. Was it with Jennifer Lopez? No, it wasn't with Jennifer Lopez. It was someone where he was dating this girl and she like kind of ghosted him. It was literally called Ghosted. And she came to
Oh,
find out she was like a spy or something like that.
I
But I
don't
don't
know.
know how it was like one of those like Apple original movies, I think.
Gotcha. Let me continue on here. Let me see. Will that solve Marvel's Majors problem? When the Quantumania actor was arrested in March, Disney executives insisted they could afford to play a wait and see game, given that the Kang Dynasty wasn't expected to begin shooting until early 2024. It's obviously not the case now, but
Yeah.
but then the Majors was dropped in quick succession by his publicists and managers. He remains a client at WME, the agency where he landed after CAA parted ways with him pre-arrest, this is new information about why they parted ways with him for his quote brutal conduct towards staff, says one source. The CAA declined to comment.
Huh.
I don't know. In April, other alleged domestic violence victims of Majors began cooperating with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Then, ahead of a key hearing in October, media outlets, including Variety, obtained a court filing that referenced a police incident in London involving Majors that led his ex-girlfriend to seek medical attention. Making matters even stickier, the ex-girlfriend also worked on Quantumania as a movement coach, and the London incident took place while Majors was shooting season 2 of Loki. On October 25th, a New York judge denied Majors' motion to dismiss the case, which ensures that the actor will stand trial in late November. His legal team is attempting to keep some material in the case sealed. A studio source notes that regardless of the actor's legal issues, Marvel already had considered moving away from a Majors-led phase because of the box office performance of Quantumania, which will struggle to make a profit. Quote, it gave people pause given that Quantumania didn't exactly land, the source says. On October 27th, Disney also removed Major's film Magazine Dreams from the release calendar as well. Recasting Majors is also an option, as Feige did when he replaced Terrence Howard in Iron Man 2 with Don Cheadle. In fact, Marvel isn't afraid to change direction, even after making splashy announcements. Armor Wars was first unveiled as a series and is now being developed as a feature, while the studio's push to adapt the comic book Inhumans into a feature film generated headlines but is now dormant. The now defunct Marvel Television mounted an Inhumans TV series in 2017 that ran for one season. We ought to review
Yeah.
that one day, by the way.
Wasn't like only like 3 episodes went on
I don't know how
TV,
many.
but
I
then
don't
like
know.
later they were just like we're just gonna release the whole series.
I don't know. I heard that it
I,
was like I heard some
remember
people like it and some people don't. So I don't know.
I can't remember.
I've
I
never.
remember.
I don't know anything about it
uh,
other than Black Bolt being in it.
yeah.
Um, Still, there was one bright spot in 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which became Marvel's biggest draw of the year with 845 million worldwide. The fact that it was directed by James Gunn, the guy now running rival DC Studios, was lost on no one. With Marvel, this is a quote. With Marvel, it used to be as close to a guarantee as you could get, says Paul. Oh gosh, Paul Durgarabedian, a box
Close enough.
office analyst at ComScore. So going all in on the budgets made sense. Guardians 3 was a bit overlooked in how successful it was, but that had James Gunn and Chris Pratt, and I think star power is becoming more important. Then there was Quantumania with 476 million. Anything under $500 million is viewed as a disappointment, and these overreaching expectations are a result of so much success over the years. The key to reinvigorating Marvel may lie with their superhero arsenal that Disney acquired during its 2019 purchase of 21st Century Fox. That deal brought several blue chip heroes, such as the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, back under the studio's control. Already, fans are geeking out about next year's Deadpool 3, which unites Ryan Reynolds' Merc with a Mouth with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and a reboot of Fantastic Four slated for 2025. As a bonus, the Fox editions give Feige an opportunity to reimagine the X-Men franchise, the very property he cut his teeth on as a young executive at Lawrence Schuler Donner's production company. Now that the WGA strike is in the rearview mirror, Marvel has started talking to writers about bringing the X-Men into the MCU fold. While Feige recalibrates, the rest of the industry is anxiously hoping that Marvel's best days are not behind it. This is a quote. Writing the Marvel obituary would be ill-advised, says Jason Squire, professor emeritus at USC School of Cinematic Arts and host of the Movie Business Podcast. Kevin Feige is the Babe Ruth of movie executives, and Marvel has the most profitable track record in the movie history, no question. And that's the end of the article.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think people are really what's the term everybody was using back in the day? Fatigue, severe
Yeah.
fatigue. I don't believe that can even really happen because I don't think you can really get tired of something if it's just good all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess you can, but I think movies is different. It's not like you have one come out every year, but it's just an hour of your time. you know,
Yeah.
or a couple like 3 hours of your time rather than being an everyday thing. So yeah, I don't know. They gotta come with a new plan because that whole experimental era was not it at all. And
There were like a few good things that came from it.
yeah, if you get a few good things, yeah, I agree completely, such as Werewolf by Night. Um, I mean, I'd say the Disney Plus shows, while some of them I'm not the biggest fan of, but others being incredible, such as Loki, WandaVision. Granted, not my favorite, but you know, Miss Marvel, I'd say, was granted not my favorite show, but I love seeing what's her name? Who's the actress that plays
Amon Villani.
yeah, her, yeah, gave her a spotlight on something. And
Yeah.
there's some things that she spoke I really like.
What
But
I'm really getting from this is that they need to be able to have more time to work on stuff. And so
yeah,
reducing, which they already said they are, and it's already evidence kind of happening now, reducing the amount of stuff you put out a year and putting more focus on the stuff that you do put out. Um,
and I think everyone agrees, and I know we've said on here a bunch of times, I'm fine with one project a year.
I don't think they'll do
You know,
one. It'll be like 2 to 3,
well,
but they'll
I
be
mean, like,
spaced out.
I mean, one movie was, I mean, like one movie, two shows. You
Yeah,
know, have your show in the beginning, like January, then you have your summer movie, then maybe around fall,
yeah,
around this era, that's when you have your other show or
yeah,
special, you know.
yeah. Sure.
So do that.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
would. If you're lucky, maybe two movies out the same year. If it's just what if it's well paced.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's that article. Um, it pretty much it's been going around. A lot of people have been talking about it, so I felt we should read it on here and give our thoughts. Um, it's a solid waiting game, I guess. I mean, I personally don't want to think. I mean, if they're still capable of making good stuff, then I'm not gonna go out and say that Marvel's best days are behind them. I still think that I think they hit it nail on the head when they said that the X-Men and Fantastic Four, that's like probably their last chance. Like you have to get that right.
Yeah, and if they don't, I I mean,
That's the future of Marvel Studios is the X-Men and the Fantastic Four.
yeah,
Avengers, there's not really anyone's interested in that anymore.
yeah, and yeah, it'd be a real shame if they can't get X-Men Fantastic Four right, and it's a lot of people will departure from it if it's something. It's like if I don't care about these heroes now, what makes
Why
me
would I
think I'm
care
gonna
when I'm
care
older?
about them
Yeah.
when they're about dead, or if they're dying or something in Kang Dynasty or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. Uh, yeah. Let's know what you thought about that article in the comments. Okay, another big piece of Marvel news. Marvel Studios has now announced, I don't know if you saw this, Marvel Spotlight. Did you see something about this?
I did not see this. What is
Okay,
this?
well, they've announced Marvel Spotlight, which is a banner, so akin to like, so you know how we have like Marvel Special Presentation, and you just have Marvel Studios. Well, you're gonna have Marvel Spotlight, which is going to be for certain upcoming projects that are, quote, more grounded, character driven stories, which will put less focus on larger MCU continuity. So it's going to be more street level stuff that you don't have to like watch to understand the overall story, but we'll have like, it'll be just like its own little like thing.
A little thing.
And
Okay.
it's gonna
Oh, I
it's
remember you
gonna
sending me
be
this.
just for like more grounded character driven type stories. Echo is going to be the first one under this banner.
That's good.
And we know from leakers now that projects like Nova and Ghost Rider will also be under that.
That's good. Okay. I remember you sending me this. Okay. Yes, I think that's great. That's something I think definitely needed.
Yeah.
Dude.
We're 10 minutes already. Good lord. Okay. But yeah, there's that. It's very interesting. We know the plot of Deadpool, well, kind of, roughly, maybe, according to My Time to Shine alone. Can we get some toast? We might know kind of a bit of the plot of Deadpool 3 or what it'll be about. I don't know. Here we go. I'm gonna read it. They said this. Deadpool 3 is about the TVA picking up the prime versions of each hero to create a multiversal army to fight the Kangs. And they picked Hugh Jackman's Wolverine to recruit, but he's not fully on board. That's what the movie's about. They said, to be clear, Deadpool 3 is still very much a Deadpool movie. His antics with Cable's time machine caught the TVA's attention, and he became their prisoner. When Deadpool learns about the TVA's plan for a multiversal army, it gives him the motivation to escape and try to convince Hugh Jackman's Wolverine to come with him.
Now, I got a question about this movie. Will this movie be under kind of is the Marvel Spotlight only like the Disney Plus shows?
It's anything. Well, I guess we don't really know yet, but this isn't going to be under that because those are for grounded, like character driven stories, like Echo.
Yeah.
This is not that. This is the building up
Because
to Secret Wars.
I'm wondering if they're gonna come up with a version that's like, you know, PG-13 rated, like how they did with Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
Because I think it's
like my grandma is not going to want to watch Deadpool 3,
yeah, because
unfortunately.
it seems very like interesting, you know. Well,
But this is also Marvel's first R-rated project too.
yeah,
Besides,
and,
TVA is not really R-rated, so I'm not counting that.
yeah, and it's not
Yeah,
that I don't want it to be like rated an R or anything like that, but like, let's say like, you have a household, you know, especially if you have, a family, whether it be just religious, strict, or just not into the whole profanity with Deadpool and all that. How you gonna follow the story? Like, what behind the world's Wolverine here all of a sudden in this movie?
yeah.
Um. So, do you think they'll come out with like a PG-13 version of Deadpool 3 or no?
Maybe.
Yeah. I was just wondering. I always, I don't know if I've asked that on here before, but that's just something I always questioned. Like, why? I don't know, because I don't want to not be rated R, of
It's
course,
assuming that
but
most Marvel fans have already seen Deadpool and like the X-Men stuff,
yeah,
which I mean,
yeah,
most of us have anyway. So,
yeah.
did we ever review the Deadpool movies? I don't think we did.
I don't think we ever did. Well, I think we were, but we were going to wait till we
I
thought
know it's on
about
our
it, but
list.
we're
It's
like,
on the
here.
list.
Well, I
I
thought
mean, not. It's on
we,
the wheel. I mean, sorry.
I know we thought about possibly waiting until
Oh
when the
yeah,
third
that's
one's
right. Yeah,
closer to
yeah, that's right.
out,
We have a
and we'll do a little
something
thing.
cooking.
All right,
Yeah.
something cooking.
Um. Yeah. But that's the plot. We also have a quote from the director of Deadpool 3 talking about this. He confirmed that it does not actually have a final title yet. He said, no, there's no title yet. I sometimes refer to it as Deadpool versus Wolverine or Deadpool and Wolverine or Deadpool 3 with Wolvie. We've got a few titles we've been bandying around, but boy, it's a tough one.
I mean, I
What do you
think just straight just call it. I mean, I think just call it Deadpool 3. Simple as that.
or I think Deadpool and Wolverine though would like put Wolverine in the title. People excited.
Well, I think this is what you do because I still want the numerical stuff. Because if you have Deadpool, then you got Deadpool 2. I want to keep that going. So Deadpool 3, then bottom line, something like a little pun or something, and it makes a reference to like another movie, you know.
Yeah.
Return of the Wolverine. There, we'll do that. Return of the Jedi. You got Return of the Wolverine. That's what you got. Bam. There's Deadpool 3's title. Just confirmed it.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of like Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, I do too, but but things I want to keep like if you have the
Well,
first,
Deadpool versus
you know,
Wolverine actually would be a good one.
well, it's just if you're gonna have Deadpool 2, I want to keep the numerical stuff keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Deadpool 3, you got a trilogy, but and I'm fine if they want to put like a little subtitle to it. I'm fine with that, but like I think just call it Deadpool 3 something something.
Mhm.
And I'm fine with that. I just think it's gonna be too confusing. Not confusing, but like just it's like, hey, what do we watch? Deadpool 2, or Deadpool versus Wolverine? Like it sounds like a side thing happening, not like a I don't know. I mean, I think it should be called. I mean, hey, just call it Deadpool 3, Deadpool versus Wolverine, or something. I don't care. I just want to keep that numerical in there, numerical titles, and have a little. I don't know. Return of the Wolverine. That's what that's what I'm gonna call it.
What, Return of the Wolverine?
Return of the Wolverine. Return of the Hue. There we go. That's it. That's the movie.
Return of the Hue. All right.
Return of the Hue.
Let's do this next. How long do we have this meeting? 4 minutes. Oh, we got time. I'm gonna rattle through all this real quick. According to My Time to Shine, hello, Vision Quest is actually still being worked on and is not canceled.
Well, I thought it was canceled. Is it not? I thought he was the one that reported it wasn't canceled.
I don't know.
It must be important for that to not get canceled.
Well, it's gonna be the next time Scarlet Witch shows up.
Yeah.
Apparently. According to Daniel RPK, Michael Keaton will be making a return as Vulture for Spider-Man 4, which means Morbius is not canon.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's good to hear.
Yes. Okay. And last but not least, Toby Spider-Man and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will be the two leads of Secret Wars, according to My Time to Shine. Hello.
That's good to hear. Happy to hear that.
Yep. And I also have the Marvel's predictions, but we kind of already have touched on all that. I don't think we really need to.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just not looking now.
and it's next week, and I keep forgetting about it. All right, and that is the end of the Marvel news.
Mhm.
We got some good DC news, but first, it's time for a commercial. Be right back.
Yeah.
What goes on inside Batman's head? The Batman Forever micro playsets. Face the mysterious Batcave with trapdoor and rapid launch Batmobile attack. Or reveal the explosive workings of the Riddler's heavily armored hideout.
Fire!
The Batman Forever micro playsets, each sold separately.
All right, DC news. We're gonna start it off with Joker 2.
Oh, yes, the news for that.
No, but
Oh, what? Already mentioning it.
well, okay. This is a quote from Lawrence Sher, who was the cinematographer on Joker. Folie à deux. He said this: next year, we're releasing the new Joker movie, and we're currently in the final stages of post-production. It's a pretty risky movie, and it's going to be surprising for people. I'm so excited for everyone to see it. It's a risky movie.
Yeah. And you think it's the whole musical aspect of it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that on here because they're starting to talk about it a little bit up now. So we might get a trailer.
It's kind of funny because I woke up the other day and I can't even think of what movie was in my head. I was like, man, imagine making a movie that's really good, but then like a sequel is like a musical. That would be stupid. And not even like thinking about Joker. I thought about that. I thought about it later that day. I was like, I wonder what I was thinking about that movie. Say that, and then I was like, oh my god, it's Joker that's going to do that. So but hey, I am kind of interested because I love Todd Phillips. So
Um, but yeah, that's that. All right. Unfortunate news. It goes right now. It's about to go bad news to great news to also bad news.
what
The first bad
was
news.
the world?
The Penguin series has been delayed from, this isn't that bad, but it's still a delay. From spring to fall 2024.
That's not that bad.
But still,
That is not
it's also
worse.
bad because it means we have to wait longer to watch that peak show. But apparently, according to the scoopers, they've heard that it is absolute fire. And I'm like, I know it is.
All right, no.
I'm
Let me
aware.
just
Let Matt Reeves cook.
yeah, that Reeves always cooks.
But yeah, that is some of the big news for that. I guess we won't be getting. We got a trailer. Didn't we get a trailer for that? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And now we gotta wait. I don't know. It's not bad, but like I'm also mad.
Right.
But yeah, there is some other news. I don't know if you saw. There was news going around that the animation studio behind Creature Commandos said that it is delayed until 2025.
Yes.
Well,
Hey,
good news. James Gunn came out and said it is not delayed. It must have been some miscommunication, and it is still set to come out in 2024.
yeah, it's like on track.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, then we got Creature Commandos though coming out next year. I'm hyped for that. First DCU project.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Creature Commandos not delayed. You guys can be happy now. It's we also know how many episodes and how long the episodes will be.
How long will that is?
Well, there will be 7 episodes, and each episode will be roughly around 22 minutes.
That's good. I like that.
So yeah, there you go. A piece of sad news that Landon started clowning me for some odd reason. Yesterday, I guess it was yesterday or the day before. I don't know. Superman and Lois season 4 will be the final season of the series, marking, now this is the good news, marking the end of the DC era for the CW.
W.
Yeah, but Superman and
W.
Lois is leaving. It should have just stayed on HBO.
I'm
It's too
okay with
good.
that. Yeah.
What do you mean,
Is
eh?
it?
Tell me why
Yeah.
you'd say eh.
Yeah, it's just
It is not. You've never watched it, so.
I've seen better.
You are, you know, gonna reach
Come
this.
on.
I'm gonna reach this Zoom meeting.
You want to say it to my face?
Sure, cut on your camera.
No.
No, you know you don't mean that.
You can't see me exposed, shirtless, playing Marvel's Avengers. I don't know.
You.
You cannot. Don't
But
allow it.
There's no way you would say Superman and Lois is bad. You've seen clips from it and you know that it looks good.
No, yeah, I'm just. I don't know.
Better than Henry Cavill. What?
Well, yeah. Well, anything's better. Well,
I don't
well,
know. I wouldn't say that.
well, well, don't get me wrong. I like Henry Cavill, but I don't like.
There's also Brandon Routh, Ruth, whatever his name is.
Oh, dude, I love Brandon Ruth. Can't hate Brandon Ruth.
He looks good as Superman, but I don't think he is the best at acting.
Kingdom Come. That is all.
That's the CW though.
Oh, got me there. Oh well. I know everybody was saying like that was like a peak Superman show, but
Yeah.
I
It
just
still is.
Yeah, I'll watch it one of these days because I was kind of begging you. I was like, is it really that good? And you're like,
It
yes.
is.
I was like, I'll check.
I stopped watching it only because I started watching Better Call Saul, but
Better show.
I exchanged Peak for Peak, so
That's a good trade off.
I'm enjoying Better Call Saul too. That's not what we were talking about. Yeah. Superman Lois final season. I didn't know that season 3 apparently ended with like a huge epic cliffhanger, like Superman fighting Doomsday on the moon.
Is that what apparently what's going to happen?
Well, that's what happened. That's what the season ended with, was them like it was like a shot of them on the moon with Earth in the background, and they were like going to clash it towards each other, and
Oh wow.
which sounds awesome. It looked awesome. But if I sound distracted, I'm currently playing Power Wash Simulator, and I'm 25 minutes to do this entire backyard.
If I sound distracted, the
It's 'cause you're tired.
the desire of sleep is
Well,
so exhilarating right now.
this is what happens.
we got to
record
change
on
our
Sundays.
schedule on this because we always like do it late. I'm like I might need to do something different.
Well, it's also because we have no other time, and when like every other time, both of us are always like, "Oh, let's just do it this time. Let's do that."
Let's just do it later. Kind of delay. I'm trying to get a PlayStation Platinum real quick.
Yeah. Anyway, another piece of DC news is Anya Chalotra is being apparently, according to DCEU leaks, which they have become pretty credible recently. I'm surprised. I used to think that they weren't credible, but apparently they are, because they've gotten a lot of stuff right.
You sure showed you.
Yeah. But apparently, according to them, Anya Chalotra will be playing Serkei in the DCU for Creature Commandos. Now that's a Wonder Woman villain.
Yeah.
I am briefly aware of her, but I will not tell you where I know her from. I just know her of being existing, I guess. I don't know. Have you heard of Serkei? Circe? CIRCE.
I don't know. I've never heard of that, man.
It's a Wonder Woman villain. I don't know. I can't look up what her powers are. Here, you do that. I'm gonna make you do some work. Let me make you do some work. What her powers are.
They spell it S-I, or sorry,
C-I-C-R-E. No, C-I-R-C-E, sorry.
C-I-R-C-E. Wonder Woman villain powers. Okay. Among other things, she can alter minds, fire destructive magic energy, blast, create illusions, revive the dead, as she did with Medusa, teleport and transform objects and beings. Her signature move is transforming men into various animals, like when she turned Odysseus men into pigs.
What? So she's just weird.
Yeah, she's just a freak.
Okay.
I love it.
Well, she'll be in Creature Commandos.
Why can't you figure out?
Because you just asked me. Wait, you broke up a little bit when you said that. Did you just say why I couldn't look her up?
Yeah, why can't you?
I am currently playing Power Wash Simulator. You think I have time to do that?
Are you kidding me? That's the reason why I thought you didn't want to get spoiled on something.
No, I'm
playing.
I'm in the middle of this, and plus you never look up anything, so I asked you.
Well, I guess there's a nice change of pace.
Yep. Okay. And then the final piece of news is regarding Batman Brave and the Bold, or Brave and the Bold, whatever it's called. We now know who the writer is, or in talks to be for that movie. 3-time Oscar nominee John Logan, who wrote Gladiator, The Aviator, Hugo, and Skyfall, is in talks to write Brave and the Bold.
I guess I've never seen those movies.
Gladiator is a renowned movie, so that is a W. And Skyfall's a James Bond movie. I know that.
Oh, okay. They said earlier. I was like, I have no idea who the heck this guy is.
But he's been nominated for an Oscar 3 times, so there you go. Yeah. That's the end of DC news.
Okay.
All right. So we have some other news, and it's only like quick things. One being that Gen V has officially ended. It is over. The finale was this past Thursday. And it was great. It was good. I mean, it set up The Boys season 4 exactly like I thought it would.
Yep.
And there was some pretty crazy stuff. The pretty crazy stuff. I'm not gonna spoil it, obviously, because it's still not even a week old yet. But yeah, there's some crazy stuff that popped off in the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll also announce Invincible season 2 has dropped.
Yeah, that was the next one.
I have not seen it yet. I need to.
I have not seen season 1.
It's good. I'm telling you, it's good.
I heard that the first episode of Invincible is pretty good. Of season 2.
I want to watch it because like animated.
Yeah, that's exactly why I don't watch it.
All right, weirdo.
I don't want to watch it because I can't emotionally connect to animated characters.
Yeah,
I can with a live. Tell me you can emotionally connect more to an animated character than you can to a live action person.
I can. It's called
You
Final
cannot.
Fantasy. It's called Final
That's
Fantasy
a video game.
Same thing.
You play as those characters, so there's obviously more connection because you are that character.
Okay.
You have, and they're your friend. Those other characters are your friends.
I'll go back to the PS1 game. You consider that not even playing a game. I can add more than that.
What, the like original Final Fantasy 7?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that game sucks.
Games. All right. Yeah. I'm the new. Okay, you're off the podcast.
I'm off.
Yeah, I got co-ownership. So
okay.
I came up with I own at least like 60%.
Okay.
And I own my own name too, so there's 60%, if not 70% of the show.
Fair. 70.
Well, you know the name. Well, let's see here. The comic book Burrito. So that's actually a 40%. So 50.
You
60.
can't say. Hold on. The comic book Burrito. We already talked about that. We use a random name generator to figure that out. Because we could both. Yes, you said that. That's what you used.
We did. Well, we did, but I was just like, it said literally. It was like comic. It was like super yummy comic burrito podcast or comic burrito podcast.
Super yummy.
And I was like, why not the comic burrito? And you're all like, I like that. Man, you should own 80% of the company.
80% company. Hold on. What do you think this is?
Well, you know, we think ahead.
But yes, Invincible just happened. Invincible season 2. I also wanted to point out too, real quick, with the Gen V finale, there's a post-credit scene and it's a W. So you definitely want to see that. Stick around for that. I was really surprised. I expected to enjoy the show just because I like the boys. But I was surprised how much I actually liked it. Like, and this is normally a show I probably wouldn't like be interested in otherwise. But, like the story and like the concept behind it was really interesting.
I can't get over that hot take you just had to spill on this channel of mine. It's pretty.
Oh, the Final Fantasy 7.
No, I'm just. Well, no, just I can't get emotionally involved with a character because they're animated.
I can't. Not as much as I can if they're real people, because I can actually see real emotion in their faces.
No, because I mean.
Yes.
Arthur Morgan.
Yeah, I could see that basically had real emotion because it was like complete mocap. And it was like, and I played as of literally 60 hours.
It's still animated. It's still animated.
But it looked real. Animation does not look real. If animation could look so real that it could trick me, like Polar Express, that looks kind of real, but not really.
That Tom Hanks made me cry.
Yeah.
For scary reasons, not. I'm gonna find something and make you watch. And then we'll see.
Oh yeah, like MTV Spider-Man.
MTV Spider-Man
cartoon ever to
exist.
That is
not man. I like how you say that, but then you watch something like The Boys. It's called a masterpiece.
You are also called the show.
Hey, MTV Spider-Man's peak Spider-Man. I don't care what you say.
MTV Spider-Man is an animated Spider-Man.
Why is that Spider-Man a video game character?
Actually, no, he's an animated character.
Oh no.
Because he's animated.
He's an
animated character.
I'm not getting this argument with you again. There, I'll just expose your last. Even if we said it awkwardly in our first episode.
Omega Red is going to show up in Final Fantasy VII. All right.
Oh yeah.
Gaming news. There's not much other than what is going on at Insomniac with Daredevil right now.
What's going on with Insomniac with their weather update and
Oh
changing
yeah,
that?
that too.
Let's
But
talk about that.
no,
Golly.
there's obviously all the stuff going on with the Nelson Murdoch sign was gone, and there's eviction notice on the door, and then it all of a sudden it's back, and the eviction notice is gone, and then people find a hidden room with what appears to be the Hand operating out of New York. And then there's a building that pops up in this game for Union Allied, the company from the Daredevil show. And then they make the Brian Har making all those comments about Daredevil. And then at that end of the live stream, did you see that?
Yes, I did see that.
It
Where's
was literally
Daredevil?
like, "Where's Daredevil?" And I was like, "Bro, you know something?
Brian, what are you doing?
They're cooking something.
They are cooking. Well, I mean, they
I
always.
think it's Daredevil DLC, 100%.
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
Daredevil Spider-Man team.
That would. I'd love it.
But it'll probably be Miles because I mean, spoilers, Pete's not Spider-Man right now.
Yeah, that's probably what it'll be. Hey,
They did come out and say, actually, that is some gaming news I forgot to put on there. They did come out and say that Miles is now their official like Spider-Man, like their focused Spider-Man for a while because Pete's taking a break.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're definitely gonna kill Pete in Spider-Man 3.
Don't tell me that. Do not tell me that because I'm gonna be so
happen.
mad. I'm gonna be pissed.
Livid.
I'm having.
Hey, what's the best way to make Spider-Man suffer? Murder him.
The best way to make Landon suffer. Kill off his hero.
Best way to make Landon suffer is to announce Marvel's Avengers is coming back and then cancel it a day later.
Show him all the leak.
Yeah, exactly.
Miller never released the article. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Golly, I'm sorry. Look, I understand completely, but I like Miller's writing. I just want to see it.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the all the news, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much it.
I guess we can go ahead and get ready to get out of here.
Oh, hold on. I do want to mention this real quick. I know I said I was going to talk last week. I said I was going to go into a little deep into Marvel Spider-Man 2, but I still have not finished my replay of it yet. But next week, definitely, I will have a lot to say on this game because my opinion has changed.
Oh boy.
Not drastically, but it has changed a bit. And I need to rewatch our episode on it, and I need to kind of I don't know how much you're gonna put into it, Darien, because I know you're in the middle of Alan Wake 2. But as you guys are seeing this, Darien be doing his Alan Wake 2. I'll be doing my Marvel Spider-Man 2 live stream. I'll be going a little bit into it on that. But yeah, sorry. Yes, so stay tuned next week. I'll go more in depth on my we'll make it a little clickbaity. My problem with Marvel Spider-Man 2. There we go. Yeah.
I also meant to add this. Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse is now on Netflix. I think I said that last week. But also Netflix is adding The Batman in December.
Ooh, that's cool.
We'll check that out. Anyway, yeah, we are gonna go ahead and get out of here. Let me think about what I gotta play. Obviously, the streams we talked about. We did say that this Wednesday would have been the Boys Season 3 review. We had to push that back 2 weeks actually. So there's no extra beef this week. Next week is the Marvels, and then the week after will be the Boys Season 3. So yeah, we got that. You got the schedule there. And yeah. So if you have any questions, comments, corrections, or concerns, you can contact me on Instagram at DarienH4404. That's DARIENH4404. Or Instagram at the Comic Book Burrito _official. I got it right this time. Facebook at the Comic Book Burrito _official page, or Twitter at the CB Burrito, capital C, capital B in Burrito.
Yeah, you can contact me at Spider_Landon on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Very active on all platforms. Yeah, come over. Let's tease Darien of how wrong he is.
Yeah, and you can also come over to ours and keep tweeting #SaveSly. Anyway, we are gonna go ahead and get out of here, and we will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Excelsior.